What's up, YouTube? So I got an interesting question request. Small forwards. Grant Hill versus Glenn Rice. I wouldn't even have thought about this unless, of course, but I appreciate when I get requests. And I thought, okay. So Grant Hill had a career of 17, 6, and 4. Glenn Rice had a career of 18, 4, and 2. Um, Grant Hill had him beat in terms of steals, blocks, rebounds, assists. But Glenn had a better volume as far as scoring. That was he was. He was a better 3-point shooter than Grant Hill, and he also a better free throw shooter. And in the postseason, aside from assists, Glenn Rice had him beat. Now 55-39 in terms of the postseason, because Glenn Rice got more postseason timing. So how do I size these two up? Well, if we go by the eyeball test, which is the one that I primarily, because once I get the numbers crunches out the way, you asking me who I thought was better on the eyeball test, it was Grant Hill, because he had more versatility overall to his game. There was more depth, and he was the main focal point. Now, Glenn Rice, I liked him with the Miami Heat. I remember with the Charlotte Hornets, and of course, he was a role player with the Lakers. But he became more of a specialist for his shooting outside shots and what he did. Of course, I'm always going to hold him in high regard for the Michigan Wolverines. I will never forget what he did helping the Wolverine. But then again, Grant Hill's college career with Duke stands over too. So how do I really equate? Well, NBA career wise, I'll say this. If everybody was healthy and both of them were at their apex, I think Grant Hill wins. He was a better overall player. It's just that injuries, because he was poised in either a hybrid of Michael Jordan, a hybrid of Scottie Pippen, and very athletic, very talented. You got glimpses of it, especially you saw it, parts of it in Detroit, and you definitely caught him with Phoenix. We never got him all the way totality, and of course with Orlando, we never got the fullness of him to showcase it all. But he definitely was poised for that kind of it. Glenn Rice somehow became, even though he had the star vibe and he had that, he didn't quite get into superstar. He got into the high tier star part. One of those guys that kind of settled, and he scored and he was productive for his time, but it didn't quite resonate the way it were like with Grant Hill. Grant Hill was somebody that you just thought was going to be poised to have it. Numbers wise, again, it's not Grant dominates him as far as, but again, like I said, in the postseason, it's a different horse of a color. But for career,